Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. So today we're taking a look at some products sent out to me by a company called Andar. Now Andar actually specialize in a variety of leather products, so products made from genuine leather. What they've sent out to me today is their Andar Aspen cases for the iPhone 14 series, as well as some of their capsule series of AirPods Pro cases. So what we'll do is first we'll take a look at the actual iPhone cases, and then we'll take a look at the AirPods case just after that. All of the Aspen cases actually come packaged like this. So as you can see, it comes in a cardboard box, so easily recyclable. You get a little thank you card, as well as some details in terms of promos and sort of discounts for any future purchases just there, as well as their sort of socials that you can follow them on as well. Putting the card to the side, you do get a nice sleeve. So this is quite good for if you do get rid of the packaging, if you want to just store them. Obviously in this case, because I've got 4 cases, if I was to put these away, switch between them, it does give you something that you can actually store the cases in. So first thing I'll do is I'll just get them all out of their boxes. Okay, so there we have all of the cases out the boxes. Now the first thing to note is that there is a very strong leather smell. So all of these cases are made of genuine leather. It's not some fake PU leather as you seem to get from most other manufacturers. So the cases, as I mentioned, they do come in the sort of fabric sleeve. They then have some foam inside just to actually keep the shape of the case itself. Obviously, if you were storing this, these could be used to just maintain the actual case themselves. Right, so there we have the 4 case colors. So we have green, or as they're calling it, the moss. They have the brown, they have the tan leather, and then they have, this is actually blue. It's almost greenish looking, very similar to the actual original color. So most companies generally tend to actually give you some sort of spin-off in terms of the genuine colors. So just taking a look at the actual colors there. So as you can see, they are the 4 colors, and you do have Alcantara lining on the inside, as well as the MagSafe ring on the inside as well. In terms of branding, the only branding that you have on the inside is just there, where it says Andar and it says fine grain leather, and also just on the sides there. So you should be able to see just on the side there, you have some very minimal branding. The actual cases themselves are made of genuine leather. So this is all genuine leather. So just showing you the inside of the blue case there, the tan leather. So obviously that's a much brighter interior. The brown case, so once again, much darker interior lining, and the moss green. And the writing's probably a bit more evident on that particular case in terms of the branding, and once again on the side as well. So in terms of buttons, you do have, by the looks of it, metal buttons on the sides. So you do have the power button just there, and then you have the volume rockers just there, if I can get my face out of shot. Your cutouts along the bottom are all identical to the actual genuine Apple leather case. So most leather cases tend to have very similar sort of bigger recessed cutouts just there. And then in terms of your camera lip, you do have a plastic surround, and it is nice that they actually have a sort of black ring. This should hopefully stop you getting any flashback if you were to use the flash whilst using the cameras. Right, so in terms of how they actually look, what we'll do is we'll chuck a few of these cases on and see how they fit. Right, now instantly the one thing that I've noticed is that there's a much more pronounced lay on the table design. So the actual screen protection on this particular case, the very first one that I've tried, so I'm guessing the rest of them will be exactly the same. So you do have an actual lip. I have a screen protector installed, and you still have a lip, so it's still protecting it when it's actually laid down flat. In terms of how it looks with the purple iPhone 14 Pro Max, that is the contrast. This is obviously the blue one that I've got on just here, and once again, only very minimal branding on the side, which I do actually quite like. It's nice and subtle, so for those who want to see it, you can see it just there. no branding on the back at all, and a very strong leather smell to the actual case itself, which is quite nice. Now, one thing to note, because the case is quite new, getting it on and off, well, not necessarily on, but taking the case off initially is quite a challenge. Next, we'll take a look at it in the tan leather. So that is how it looks to the lighter tan leather, and this I would say is a lot darker than Apple's version. So Apple's version was almost orangish this year and also last year as well. Buttons very tactile, so buttons response very good. Once again, the lay on the table design is still there, so it looks like they're all going to be very similar. In terms of MagSafe, I do have a MagSafe wallet just here, and as you can see, that hooks on perfectly fine. And if I was to do that, it's not falling either. So magnets are nice and strong. What I have found is the leather cases tend to actually be a bit more slippery as far as wireless chargers generally, but I have used a few other cases that basically don't actually perform as good as some of the leather cases, which tend to grab on a bit easier. Whether or not you end up with the ring on these particular cases, I'm not sure, because this is genuine leather and is listed as fine grain leather as well. So in theory, these should actually patina a lot better than Apple's cases. I'm not sure if they've actually gone with the full protection sort of clear coat as Apple do, but the fact that you're getting such a strong smell or scent from the actual leather cases suggests to me that these would actually patina a lot better than the Apple cases do. So yeah, there is the tan leather case. Okay, so there is the dark brown leather case on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. This to me does look really nice. I am really liking the look of this particular case. Once again, very minimal branding just there, and nothing on the back, no big ugly branding anywhere on the case. Buttons have a nice tactile click to them. Lay on the table design is obviously protecting the screen. Yeah, that to me looks really clean, really nice. So yeah. And finally, the moss green. So this is a bit of a strange kind of color to me. It almost looks like a sort of seaweed kind of color or spinach kind of color. Green and purple always contrast so nicely. So this is something where if you're daring enough to try this, yeah, it's definitely got contrast, and obviously it gives you the ability to mix it up a bit. It's a lot darker than what I'm actually seeing on the camera screen. So hopefully I can actually get this to color grade correctly and actually show you the color as I'm seeing it. Hopefully the top shot from the actual iPhone will actually do it a bit more justice in terms of the actual color of the case itself. But yeah, it's got a very nice contrast against the actual purple of the 14 Pro Max just there. And once again, details on this one, you can actually almost already see the ring just there for the actual MagSafe. And if we just apply the wallet. Now, one thing to note is while it's very close, there is just the tiniest of gap between the actual camera lip or the surround and the actual wallet itself. Whether or not this clashes with some other MagSafe accessories, maybe battery packs, things like that, we'll have to wait and see. But generally, I tend to find as long as they have this sort of size of camera lip, generally they're mostly okay. None of the accessories I personally own have actually clashed with any of the cases that I've actually reviewed on the channel. So yeah, if you were looking for something that works with the majority of products, then yeah, these should be fine. Okay, so that's the iPhone cases. We'll just move those to a side. We have the AirPods Pro just there. These are the first gen, but obviously they do produce these for all of the various different AirPods that are available, 1, 2, 3, as well as Pro and Pro 2s. So firstly, we'll take a look at the ones with the sleeve. So this packaging is slightly different, so you do have a little bit more plastic, which obviously isn't quite as nice, but it is nice and easy to get into, so hopefully you can actually just keep this and use it if you did want to actually put this into storage. Once again, a very strong leather scent to the actual case itself. And these ones, so we do have two with the actual buckles themselves. So the black, you have the brown. I don't think these actually have special names or anything. So you have the black, you have the brown, and then you have blue matching the cases, the actual iPhone case, and then you have a sort of slightly darker tan leather. So I don't think that's an exact match, but it's pretty close in terms of those color matches. So firstly, we'll try this one. So this one is obviously designed not to be working with wireless charging. The other design, which is, we'll take this one out. So these are the two designs that you actually have. So obviously one has the lanyard built into it, the sort of belt buckle kind of clip, and one of them is designed for wireless charging. Both of them have a little bit of branding on the front just there, as well as the hole for the actual LED, and the opening at the bottom is nice and wide, so you shouldn't have any issues with any of the lightning connections for actually charging these. As I say, minimal branding just on the front there, and a very strong leather scent from each one. On the insides, you do have a plastic insert, and then you have the actual leather just there. So this is actually probably the first part where you can actually feel the leather itself. So firstly, we'll test it in the darker brown. So it goes in actually quite loose. However, once you clip the top on, what actually happens is as you open it, it sort of lifts up. So it kind of pulls it up, so it gives you a nice easy access like that. As you can see, the little LED is blinking through there, and this one is obviously not designed for wireless charging because obviously this would obstruct the actual wireless charger. To get it back out of the case, what you want to do is open it up and then just pull this top lid out, and it'll come out nice and easily, and we'll drop it into the tan leather case. So once again, you just drop it in, press the top on, that'll align everything, and then when you go to open it, it just lifts it up slightly and brings it up. In terms of staying closed, yep, that'll stay closed, and this one is obviously compatible with wireless charging because there's no obstructions on the back. It gives you a little bit more grip, and once again, because this is sort of fine grain leather, this should actually patina over time. You can see there are some slight sort of natural imperfections in the actual leather itself. It's not all pristine, perfect print as you get with fake leather or PU leather, where it's kind of just pressed into these big sheets where there are no imperfections. This is obviously genuine leather, so you are expecting to see little wrinkles, little sort of creases, and obviously over time this will darken. I'm guessing this one will obviously darken a lot more, a lot faster, but yeah, I'm hoping that these should actually show a pretty decent patina over time. So that is the tan leather. Okay, so that is the blue leather case, and as you can see, it opens up nice and easily. Close it up, you can see the LED, and this one is compatible with wireless charging. And finally, the black leather case. I think out of all of them, I think this is probably my favorite. I think the sort of contrast and just the way that the actual leather looks as well. It just looks very, very smart, very clean, works perfectly fine, and you get a really nice, obvious contrast with the actual LED just there as well. This one obviously does have the little buckle attachment, so you can attach this onto a lanyard or whatever, onto your backpack, wherever you want to actually use it. Nice wide opening for the actual lightning port at the bottom there as well, so no issues with charging with a cable either. And once again, really easy to take them out, so if you did want to actually just switch up between these, it's nice and simple to actually do so. So if you're looking to match stuff up, then you do have this sort of combination just here, matching iPhone case as well as matching AirPods case. AirPods obviously function perfectly just as you would want them to. So yeah, that was my first look at the Andar products. Obviously these being the Aspen cases as well as the capsule, that's what they actually call them. The capsule cases for the AirPods Pro. Very impressed by the actual quality and the feel of the actual leather as well. Very, very soft. Obviously, they've listed it as fine grain leather, so that's something that hopefully over time should patina really nicely and should look really good and help protect your phone, obviously, because that is the main reason why you actually use the cases in the first place. Looking forward to actually using these. I will post a updated review. I personally won't be using the AirPods cases because these are my daughter's AirPods. However, I'll get her to just give me an update in terms of how they actually perform. I'll give her all of them and then she can choose between them, see which ones she wants to actually use. The iPhone cases I'll use personally, both just around the house, as well as I think I might actually use one of these, probably the dark brown color. I'm really liking the look of this particular shade against the iPhone, so I'll probably use that in a work scenario as well, so then we can get an idea in terms of how they actually hold up. I will have links for everything in the description below, as well as a discount code as well. So if you use MA Tech, I'll have it listed in the description below. Hopefully that should give you a discount on your purchases as well. All the pricing and everything will be listed on the website itself. You do order directly from them, and once again, as I say, it will be listed in the description below. I'm hoping to actually have a working relationship with Andar, so I'm going to try and bring you a few more products in the near future. So if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also enable notifications on your phone itself. That way you don't miss out on any future videos, and I'd really appreciate if you could also give this video a thumbs up. And until the next one, thanks very much for watching.